sorry. In typical Canadian fashion, I'm going to start this episode by saying sorry because, yes, there was no new comic book day video within the week. Guys, I'm sorry simply because, well, the whole house got sick. That's exactly what happened. You know, kids, daycares, we catch it all. So I apologize, but it will be back. I'm back. I feel great. And of course, my guest backstage, I could tell, feels great as well because he's pumped. I know we've been chatting all day, pumped about tonight. So I won't keep him waiting for too long, guys. He was busy today doing his thing. He was even on Durz's channel. He's everywhere, literally everywhere. I don't know if he even sleeps, but guys, Cliff on Comics, what's going on, baby?
Hello. Yeah, no, I do really enjoy sleep. I very much do. You know, Jigs has kept me up for 3 nights, so you know I'm happy.
There you go. There you go. But yes, you were busy today. Like I said, you were on Durz's channel. Obviously, you were doing the Council of Comics, your channel, right? You went live today as well.
No, I didn't for once.
It was it linked? Because I noticed sometimes.
Oh wait, that's right. I go live at the same time on both channels.
There you go, which is pretty cool. I didn't even know we could do that in today's time. I'm still behind on this StreamYard stuff.
Oh my goodness, it's what they have a whole YouTube channel with all their tips.
I know. I just dad life. But Cliff, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hopping on because not only are you hopping on here, guys, so I encourage everybody subscribe to Cliff's channel because something's happening this week. Cliff, do you want to let the people know?
I have a very special episode of Crisis Quest Trivia where our buddy here will be joining us. I'm very excited, along with DJ Links, John's Comics with Kids, and Tony from Comicverse.
Yep, there you go. So I'm going to be hopping over on Cliff's channel where he's hosting a game show, guys. Yes, it is. I don't even know how you do this. The production must be insane to put together because it's so clean, dude. The Jeopardy style and everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of PowerPoint. A lot of PowerPoint.
No kidding. No kidding. But I'm excited because, yes, we're going to put my knowledge to the test as well as DJ Links, John's with Comics, and you said someone else. I forgot. Sorry. Remind me.
And Tony from Comicverse.
There you go. So, yes, it's going to be a fun time. Of course, I don't expect myself to win, guys. Don't put any bets on me because you're going to lose. I'm just telling you now. But, yes, subscribe to Cliff and come check it out. It's this Thursday. We're going live at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
That's correct.
There you go.
We're in the same time zone, at least.
Yes, thank God. Thank God. Different countries, but same time zone. But all right, let's get into it. Cliff, there's a lot to discuss. It was a big week. X-Men 97. We got trailers galore. Video game trailer, which we'll talk about a little bit later on within the hot topics, but lots of big news. And of course, the market. Guys, I just want to give everybody a heads up. 15 books are being discussed tonight. 7 are Baker Shakers. That's right. I guess the income tax money has been rolling in because there are some big sales that took place, some good sales. So looking forward to check that out.
Oh, you know, income tax season played a big role in that.
Oh, for sure, dude. Michael Baker was sending me like books as of Monday, right? He does this every week, and of course, he wasn't present with us last week on Hyper's return. Which shout out to Hyper Combo Comics for making his return. But yeah, he wasn't present, and it's like he made up for it. He sent me like 3 weeks worth of books. I'm like, holy cow, man! Did this really happen? That many sales? So we'll get through all of the fun stuff. But before we get to all of that, Cliff, we got to shout out the beautiful people here in the chat. With the first one being Michael Baker. See, he's back, and of course, welcoming you back to the channel. Now, I do want to say something. I did see love for comics here before you, Baker. So yes, you're back, but slightly slacking. Brian's in the house. Do we know Brian? Of course we know Brian, man. Brian, yeah, doing nothing but great things, guys. Definitely check out the Comic Book Community Awards. Subscribe to Brian's channel, of course, to keep up to date with everything that's going to be happening with that. It's kicking off very soon. He said it last week.
I'm on the committee this year. God help us all.
Oh, geez. Oh, geez. So do you have creative control? Because if that's the case, I'm concerned.
I wouldn't call it creative control. I mean, like we try to handle everything very democratically, you know, and then poor Brian has to deal with it. But I will say, people do not realize how much work he puts into this
Yeah.
For the amount of criticism that's out there. Like, I'm like, yo, Brian's putting in time and money and like asking people for like every thought they've got. Like, and we're really trying to deliver. We're really trying to deliver. From what you've seen so far, there already are great changes instituted this year. We're going to tighten up the window so that we get a move on, and it's not like 8 months of voting and and pressure. It's got to be great.
No, Brian puts together an awesome show. He puts together this awesome comic book community award. So shout out to Brian. And of course, thank you for everything you do, bud. Who else we got here? We got Phil's Treehouse. Yes, yo, Phil was live with Spinetics again last night. What a good show. I caught the replay this morning. I haven't had the chance to actually comment on the video, but you guys were pulling some crazy books this week. Again, you guys, I don't know what's going on. Even Sith has gone hard on some of those books. So always love checking out Spinetics. Guys, go give some love to Spinetics. All right, who else we got here? We got Derek in the house. Derek, appreciate you swinging by, coming to hang out with myself and, of course, Cliff. Lots to talk about tonight. And, Derek, I know you're very active in the chat, so I always look forward to seeing what you have to say as well. We got Rocksteady, my brother, who just scored those. Dude, did you see those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adidas exclusive?
No, I'm stuck on a mustache ride, to be honest.
Apparently, yeah, exactly. But the TMNT shoes, Rocksteady locked it down, Hyper locked it down. I had no idea that, like, dude, I still live in a world where I just walk into a Vans store or I go to pick up a pair of Converse at a random store, right? Like,
right, you're not thinking about like, oh my god, like I had bots searching for the first quarter 2024 Michael Jordans. Like, I'm like, I am not that one. I'm like, just do whatever you want. I will say that gold, black, white Jordans from last year were absolute fire. I can't lie, but still.
But again, I had no idea this was a thing. I didn't know you had to wait in line, because I would see people like the Butcher from Pressable Defects. You have like Comic Raider. You have all these awesome people posting shoes, and I'm like, but I don't get it. Like, are they happy they bought a pair?
Artist Ryan Gary Brown, huge sneakerhead.
I didn't.
All those Spider-Man variants he did at New York Comic Con for the sneakers.
Of course, but I didn't know that you had to like win your way in to get those shoes. So that's
or use online bots. Yeah. Or use online bots. It's crazy.
Yeah, just to show you how out of date I am, just to give you guys an idea.
I just want you to know, had one of my students back in 2015 not been a sneakerhead, I wouldn't know any of this.
Yeah. There you go. So you learn from a student, right? Steph's Comics is in the house. Steph, quality rock and roll for sure, baby. Dude, guy's been crushing it, especially with the recent Connor Bedard cards. I think he just hit a second one, so it's going for a pretty coin, man. I know you're not into sports cards or anything, but
you're speaking a completely foreign language to me.
And speaking of Hyper Combo Comics, here he is. My brother is back doing his thing. We're going to be teaming up to do a video on his YouTube channel very shortly, so stick around for that. The dude picked up an awesome collection, so looking forward to going through some of those books with him. Who else we got? We got Pacino, man. Pacino Collects is in the house. Pacino just submitted 4 awesome books to CGC. I can't wait to see when they get back. You better do a post about that, or at least maybe do an unboxing video, bro. Do an unboxing. It's been a while. Gear Up's in the house. One of the best pressers, cleaners in the game. I'm not saying this to be nice. I'm saying this because everything you see behind me, this man has touched, worked with, and hit me some awesome grades. So shout out to Gear Up 260.
I love the episode you did with him.
Yeah, dude, such great chats, right? Like he just brought a whole different perspective, and you know, Armin's a great man. Armin, hopefully we'll get you back on sometime real soon. It was way too much fun. The love of my life is in the house. That's right, Marissa, my babe, my wife for life. And of course, like I said, the whole house got sick, and she is unfortunately at the end of that line where we all got sick. So now she's dealing with that. So I know you're on the other side of this room, babe. Love you. I hope you feel better. But all right, I think I got everybody. No, JF's in the house, man. Yo, JF, appreciate you coming to hang out, brother. It means a lot. Let's see if BC gives me an NYE man or knee man tonight. Oh yeah. Crapshoot, yeah. In the nostalgia nuts, I think that's going to be the thing tonight. Who else are we missing? I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Nope. Got to show some love. Newbie Comics is in the house, my brother. Now, Newbie has been picking up a pretty interesting book. It is a sports book, Cliff. I know you're not into them. But I swear to God, I feel like in Quebec, in Canada, we don't get some cool stuff. Because I hit up 5 shops, I couldn't find it. This guy's, every shop he's hitting up, there's like 10 copies of it. I won't give it away because I know he's stashing those books. He's stashing those books. But shout out to Newbie because he says he got me a copy. We'll see if he holds up to that. La Boîte à BD is in the house. Boîte à BD, man, one of the most awesome LCSs here in Quebec, in Laval, Quebec, Canada, to give you guys a little more detailed location. But yes, they're up here in Laval, and one of the nicest guys you could come across. They actually just made a deal with Hyper today. Made an awesome sale. I think he posted it. Yes, he did. It was the Dragon Ball Z book. So congrats on the sale for Boîte à BD, and congrats on the purchase to Hyper. All through the show. That's awesome. Love for Comics is in the house, man. Love for Comics was first. Michael Baker. I'm just reminding you. But yes, feeling much better. Appreciate you, Love for Comics. And I know you were here first. Bring back Tortilla Challenge. No, I'm not doing those videos anymore. There was a video of that, Cliff. I just want to let you know. It's hidden, buried somewhere away.
Well, now I'm going to use the power of Google just because of that.
Yep, there you go. Joel's in the house. Joel's one of my favorites. Rastafarians, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. And hold on. Yes, Bebop, Zoo Books, another one, man. Bebop. I've never seen Bebop, Joel's, and Nemesis in the same room at the same time, but here we are because all 3 of them are here, man. Nemesis lived the dream. He's in Jersey. You're not far from Jersey, right?
No, I'm not too far. I'm like the border is only an hour from me.
Yeah, Nemesis lived my dream today. He got to watch Italy's soccer team play in New Jersey versus Ecuador. Yeah, oh my. I know you don't care about the game. You really don't care about the game, Cliff. Be honest.
Yeah, I care about the players.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, Cliff, it's
isn't
time.
That important enough?
It is, I guess it is. Before we get into it, Trev's in the house, guys. Trev's going live at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So second we're done, go show some love. Hop on over to his channel. Trev's putting together some great content on his end. So definitely.
Boy, you are optimistic that we're going to be done on time. I'm like,
yeah,
I know. You can catch the end of Trev's show by the time we wrap up.
Well, if that's the case,
I love you, Trev.
Go show some love. But yeah, wish they would have played Uruguay. Yeah. It's a school newbies team. That would have been amazing. But Cliff, it's time for the FOC picks of the week. So as I ask everybody every week, are you ready?
I'm ready.
There you go. That's the energy. All right, FOC picks of the week. Now, these are the selections for March 25th by Lefteros. So, of course, show some love to Lefteros. Go check him out over on Instagram. And, of course, go check out comicnation.us, where you can get your FOC.
You gotta remind me that the picks are from someone nice. before I start tearing them apart.
Yeah, well, he is a gem. I absolutely love Lefteros, but comicnation.us is already giving everybody a 15% discount off of the cover price when you go FOC from their website, and you can get yourself an additional 5% discount by using Black Crown. So it'll total 20% off. Go get them. Let's talk those books that you might be hunting on their website. So the first one up for grabs is Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue 26. Now, this is the cover A. Likely the first appearance of Doom Might. There you go.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh no. Come on, you love this. You love this. This is totally up your alley.
I love Superman, you know, and like, you know, they're great. But Doom Might, do we really need a Doomsday with Mixoplick 5th dimensional imp powers?
Yes, absolutely. I'm all for this. Let's do it.
I mean, like, what would that do? That's just unless he's not focused on Batman and Superman, he's focused on terrorizing Mixoplick and Batmite.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mixie Spitlick. I don't know.
Yeah, but it is interesting, of course, if you're into these types of characters. Now, look, I said this plenty of times when it comes to World's Finest, because it's a title I'm really not picking up. But are you reading any
And
of
you're
it?
wrong. And you're wrong.
I know.
Okay, because even though none of these first appearances have added up to anything, like the Batman Superman Lantern fusion, which quickly appeared for no good reason on the pages of that god awful Dark Crisis. So, like, you're right in that, but where you're wrong is this is a great series. We're 25 issues in. You should go pick them up. All right. Hack some of them out of a dollar bin if necessary, but you should be reading this. It's a great series, and he sets the stage for a lot of things that go on in the DC universe, and nobody really gives him credit. And yeah, like Mark Waid hasn't lost it after all this time, and that Kingdom Come story that just came off of, great.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
yeah, I agree with Phil. Possibly at best a cash grab, but it is a first appearance, so you never know.
Yeah, but I will take your advice and definitely catch up on it. Of course, I love Mark Waid, but like I said, it's just a title that I've put completely aside. But somebody I will never put aside, especially on Sundays, is Guy Forge, man. We were just talking New Jersey. Italy was just playing in your neck of the woods, Guy Forge. I hope you got your chance to go see the game, but if not, well, it's that time, bro.
I do have a sports question for you.
Tell me.
Why are there so many football games happening in America right now?
Well, these are all friendly matches because, of course, we're building up towards the World Cup. So
right, which is going to be in Russia, right?
Yeah, but you guys got blessed with the friendly games, right?
Well, no, I didn't understand. I knew that stuff was happening here way more than normally happens here. I just didn't know why.
Yep. But that's exactly why. So the friendlies are ongoing, but
I was a kid when y'all had the friendlies. It was cute.
It was. Thank you.
Everybody was hugging at the end. It was so beautiful. And then everyone told me this is not a regular game.
Yeah, it's just a friendly. But Nightwing 113 is on FOC this week. Now, this is the milestone 300th issue, and it's going to offer a complete story of Dick Grayson's life. So one thing I want to say is we're showing the cover A. Now, you immediately hit me up once I sent you the slides, and you made a very valid point because, Cliff, there's a lot of nice covers for this one. Now, not only is this a milestone, Nightwing has been incredible. I love Nightwing, right? Out of DC characters, probably one of my favorite. But I do got to say, this one right here, dear Lord. Yeah, this is a banger. I like this one a lot. I think this is a total grab for myself. But yeah, milestone issue. We're at Legacy 300. Not too bad, Nightwing.
Yeah, for a Legacy book, that is the cover. That's the cover.
Absolutely. Sorry about that, guys. But it is awesome. Even this cover A, I don't know if you saw over on DC's website, but they actually had it animated. That looks real cool too.
Amazing. Yep. And that's great. But that Dan Mora cover.
Yep. Absolutely gorgeous. But all right, let's move on from Nightwing because we're going to talk Something is Killing the Children 36. Do you feel like this has like died away?
Absolutely. I'm bored to death. I can't. Yeah. I'm like, haven't they killed all the children yet?
Jesus.
I'm like, are there any children left in that series? Didn't they kill the guy that looks like a kid? I was like, do we got anything left? I don't know. And look, I love James. I really do. But please, this of all books that should have probably been a mini, this and House of Slaughter should have been 2 minis.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of people love it, and I don't want to take away from anything that anybody loves. I'm the guy reading freaking World's Finest and loving it every week. All right, so I get it. But for me, I'm tired. And the 5 million variant covers, I'm tired.
Yeah. Well,
look at this art germ.
That's where I was going. Is this art germ cover is very nice, man. I think it's an awesome cover of Erica Slaughter. Now, like you said, the series has kind of not that it's dragged on. But also, there's been delays, right, in between issues.
Yep. That doesn't help. Help.
I think that's the killer. But let's see where this goes. I'm excited to see now issue 36 coming out because it feels like forever since 35. So yeah. But all right, let's move on. There you go. Yeah, Derek saying Something is Killing the Children is so 2020. Yeah, first art gem. Okay, Daredevil number 8. This is the Campbell variant. Now, another milestone issue for Daredevil. This is an anniversary issue, but Scott Campbell normally does awesome covers, especially of a woman. But this one for Daredevil is super sick. I love this one.
It's beautiful. I can't disagree. And again, anniversary issue. This is a great pick. A great pick.
Yep. Now the issue is a $9.99 US book, so it is that heavy price tag. But I'm hoping it'll be in cardstock.
Isn't it like 60 pages or something?
Yeah, exactly.
48 pages with the ads.
Yep, exactly. But all right, let's move on from Daredevil because we're going to talk Ultimate Spider-Man 4. Now, Cliff, you just fun facts, guys. Cliff actually sent me a photo a few weeks back of what he wanted as the thumbnail, but there was a reason why we swerved.
I knew I was getting bumped for first Ultimate Gwen. I knew I was getting bumped for the new Ultimate Gwen. It's all right. Yep. It's all right. You know, she could be a problem. She could be a problem. We know she's married. We do know she's married to Harry, so that's already something going on.
Yep. So here we are, Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 4. Now, possibly the first appearance of Earth 616's Gwen Stacy. And why do we say that? Well, let's switch on over to the Manhanini cover. So this one over here, you can clearly see Gwen Stacy right there, standing up by the table. So it looks like we're going to be getting some Gwen Stacy within the Ultimate Universe. Now, one thing I was questioning...
Will she turn out to be the Green Goblin?
Well, okay. Well, there is something that has happened along the lines with this, so we can talk that maybe later. But one thing I do want to say is that within the Ultimate Universe, Peter Parker has not become Spider-Man until a much later age, which I imagine changes the outcome for everybody around him. But now that he's Spider-Man,
he doesn't even live in the United States.
Well, listen.
The map of that world is completely different. So he's in New York, but New York is not part of the U.S. anymore. I just love the landscape. It's wild.
Yeah, it's all over the place. JT Keel in the house. Appreciate you coming here to hang out. We got Hawk in the house. Hawk's coming to hang out, man. Appreciate Hawk. Yeah, nothing but love, guys. Go show some love to Hawks. Subscribe to his channel. He's putting out some cool content. But yeah, I hope I didn't miss anybody else. But Ultimate Spider-Man 4, like I said, looks like we're going to be getting Gwen Stacy, so might want to keep an eye out for that one. You're a fan of Gwen. I know you are.
I'm kind of MJ's my girl.
Yeah,
MJ I'm not saying no disrespect to Gwen. I love her and everything, you know, but I didn't grow up in Gwen era. I grew up in MJ era.
Yeah. Of course. Chia Pet's in the house, man. My brother Chia Pet's, nothing but good times, great conversations, and hopefully we can get him on a live show because all we've done is a pre-record. So Chia Pet, whenever you're ready, you tell me. All right, let's move on from Ultimate Spider-Man 4 because we've got Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #1. What a good read. I don't know if you had the opportunity. It was
great.
So good.
I love it. I have like 5 copies.
Yeah, I know a lot of people feel a certain way, especially when it comes to, you know, Ghost Rider now, you know, multiple people, taking the mantle and so forth. But I think this is very fitting. The hood.
But the story is good.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's not a cash grab. Like, look, the Wolverine and oh, we're gonna give him a series, you know, or like Cosmic Ghost Rider.
I think Wolverine could be promising. Wolverine could be promising because there's some cool concept behind that. But of course, the second print right here of the hood as the new Ghost Rider, it's absolutely gorgeous. But speaking gorgeous, there was the one. Here's the 1 in 25 that's also available. So this is the Greg Capullo cover. Now, one thing that does tend to happen with ratios on a second print is that people chase these, right? Now,
they're hard to come by.
Exactly. So what do people do? Some tend to up their order just to get this, right? So I imagine that second print of the cover A, we'll see how it does, but this cover is just absolutely awesome. In full color as well. Like, so good. Like, on the first print, I loved it. So
yeah, I grabbed on the first print immediately.
Yeah. The guy must have heard us talking about him, Cliff, because here he is. Lefteros is in the house, man. Lefteros, my man. We are going through your FOC picks of the week, so thank you for coming.
My favorite Auburn hair companion to Black Brown.
Yeah, but all right, let's move on from that because we were talking later printings. We've got a second printing for Ultimate Universe #1, and of course, we also have a third printing for Ultimate X-Men #1.
They went in a little too hard on Ultimate X-Men.
Yo,
they got a little carried away.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, but the cover.
However, I want you to know I do enjoy Ultimate X-Men, right? I think I know what we're doing. I think her and Maystorm are going to be our focal characters,
Of
and we
course.
will follow their story into them joining the X-Men. You know, much like following Jubilee or following Kitty Pryde. Like, I feel like that's what's coming. But that is clearly not for everyone, because there was a lot of people who could not stop hating on this book from issue 1, you know?
Yeah. It is safe to say that of the Ultimate Universe, it is probably the lesser of the favorite, but
Oh, yeah.
I agree with everything you just said. Now, Ultimate Universe 1, guys, if you missed the opportunity to pick up this book when it made the first print, of course, there's certain cameos, appearances that take place within this book. So if you want, now is your chance to grab it. Now, from what I'm seeing here, it's looking like the border is going to be black as hell, man. So might be tough to get in those high grades. We shall see, but I'm picking one up 100%. And speaking Ultimate Universe number 1, there's also a 1 in 25 incentive. So kind of like I just said about most of those incentives when, you know, the second prints come around. This is Earth 616 Thor design variant cover by Caselli. I think it's pretty neat. I'm not really into design variants.
I'm not. This, honest to God, like, I could care less. I'm not giving this my stamp of approval, but I will say this. If you must have design, if you're a design variant collector, go for it.
Yeah.
It is for you.
For sure, man. Sorry, I missed this comment. GCU giving Bama all they can handle. But yeah, man. So I agree with what you said regarding the design variants. Like I said, not my forte. It's not my favorite, but it's a pretty neat one. I'm not gonna lie. And we spoke Ultimate X-Men 1. Now there's also a 1 in 25 for this one. And if it looks familiar, well, that's because this cover was on the first print, but now we don't have the border. So if you're a fan of those Virgin covers, now's the opportunity to pick one up.
And if you're a Peach fan,
yes, Momoko.
You know, again, I myself am not going to go out of my way for this, but she has a tremendous fan following. So those people should be right now trying to get that 1 in 25.
Yeah, before it's too late. And
it will be, because when's the FOC? Tuesday?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
There you go, folks. There you go. Email the LCS tonight. Yeah, right now. 9:29 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, DC, you want to get that in tonight. Tomorrow is for everything else. So, but all right. Speaking incentives, Wonder Woman number 8. This is the 1 in 25 incentive by Swaby. Now, I think this is a gorgeous cover. If you guys haven't been paying attention, some of those DC ratios as of late have been picking up steam, right? It's been a couple of months where this has been going on. Now, as of late, we had the Harley Quinn one, which was the 1 in 50. There was the Power Girl one, which was a 1 in 25. Who's to say this might not? I'm not saying, guys, go chasing this ASAP, but it is a beautiful cover. I think Swaby killed it.
It's good looking. I could care less. I do. Thumbs down.
No Wonder Woman for you.
Let me tell you, the cover, beautiful. That's great. Boring as hell. Not worthy of 1 in 25. If you are going to hit me with these incentives, I want some artwork that is like, what, not subtle, like this is maybe subtle wow. I don't want subtle wow. I want wow. You know, give me her freaking lassoing Giganta's hands together with the freaking lasso where Wonder Woman is like flying and Giganta's giant on the ground. Be like, what did you do to me?
One thing I will say is that the Villa Lobos cover is gorgeous. So that is also available.
Yeah, you know, so like, yeah. So I was like, and this is my alternative. I was like, it looks like Wonder Woman's at a funeral. I don't want this. You know, I mean, it's pretty, but like, you know, like so's my high school graduation photo.
Yeah, look, Terry, man, you're killing me. Dude,
I respect it, and Sway is a great artist, but I'm just saying, I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, and this is like, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. Like I said, the Villa Lobos is actually really nice, and it's a real cover.
Good.
Exactly. But all right. Moving on from Wonder Woman, we're going to continue with the incentive train because we've got X-Men Forever number 2. Now, of course, Arthur Adams doing his thing with these covers. You know how these covers always go on that secondary market. And then we've got this awesome cover done by him with Mystique on it. Gorgeous.
And this one gets my stamp of approval just because of Arthur Adams.
Absolutely. But speaking of, well, there's also this one here. Now, guys.
Which also gets my stamp of approval.
Yeah, man. Black Cat holding the Spidey mask. Of course, Arthur Adams, the 1 in 25 incentive. I'm going to assume this is going to see a little bit of traction on the
Yeah.
secondary market. So if you have the opportunity to lock one down right now for, ratio price or less, I think it's a good buy. And especially Arthur Adams, man, doing signings. I would totally get this one signed. I think it's gorgeous. But all right, guys, those were the FOC picks of the week. Now, of course, you can support Left Arrows by following comicnation.us. And of course, go visit the website. Get your orders in. You can get 15% off of the cover price with an additional 5% by using discount code Black Crown. And of course, Left Arrows is about to drop an even more extended, detailed list of FOC over on Cover Price's website. So go visit coverprice.com, which is the best comic book price guide around. Cliff, FOC is done, baby. FOC is done. I feel like we're missing some action here. We see that what Cliff is into, not into Greeks.
I answered him.
Yep. But all right, we got through the FOC. Now we're going to get into the market stuff. Guys, I warned you because yes, within market, I look at multiple lists, but Michael Baker brought the heat. 7 books are on the list tonight from the Baker Shaker list. So guys, brace yourselves. And Cliff, of course, I got to ask you, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, like I just said, market reports, looking at all this, CBSI, cover price, eBay, Go Collect, Key Collector, you name it, I am looking at it. But of course, this week, Michael Baker making up for the slacking he did last week. So, Michael Baker, let's get into it. Cliff, let's get into it. Chat, let's get into it. First book, 8 Billion Genies, #1, doesn't surprise me one bit because, yes, optioned by Amazon. Seth Rogen is apparently going to be behind this one. CGC 98 selling for 136 Canadian dollars, coming in at #5 on cover price. Now, I will say one thing, Cliff, before you let us know how you feel about this one, but 136 Canadian dollars is actually considered cheap when the book had hit such highs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it dropped.
Yeah, you can grab it for under 100 in the US. So yeah, people grab it now. You know, and the book is actually good, right? So like, it may have some longevity. People may remember this as a very fine series, you know?
Yep. Nick's in the house, man. Nick, appreciate you. But yes, definitely longevity, man. The read was actually good. I know that, like,
good. It's good.
Yeah, it was kind of like out the box, right? Something totally refreshing. So I enjoyed the read. Now, Seth Rogen behind this, I could see why, because there are so many moments where you're like, man, it has comical potential behind it, right? When it's portrayed, because this is totally out the box. So I am excited for this. I hope this does take place with Seth Rogen behind it. I don't doubt Seth Rogen. Do you?
I don't. He's behind Invincible, and I love Invincible.
Exactly.
He's behind The Boys, and I love The Boys.
Et voila. So
you know, I mean, he's not the only one, but I mean, I'm saying he's there to help make this happen, and I love it.
That's right. See, Cliff spitting facts. So 8 Billion Genies, #1, coming in at #5 on cover price. And I said it, 136 is not too bad, considering this was well over 200 Canadian when it came out. So,
yep.
But all right, let's get into another one, because New Mutants 98, of course, Deadpool love is alive and kicking in 2023 and 2024. And here we are in the month of March, still talking New Mutants 98. First appearance of Deadpool, Gideon, and Copycat. CGC 98 sold for $1,380 coming in at #4 on cover price, $1,380. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I missed the days of it being $489.
Yep. We're way past that now.
I gotta dig mine out of the back room and probably send it in.
Yeah. You have a copy raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
From my childhood.
There you go. So, and I've
got 20 X-Force #1s bagged.
Jeez.
Like in the next room.
Still with the cards. Oh no,
still with the cards.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, I got the white Captain America set and the black Captain America set.
There you go.
You know.
That's awesome. But yeah, New Mutants, of course, like I said, Deadpool, everybody's pumped. It's the only MCU movie we are getting this year. So, $1,380, not too bad. I have seen higher sales.
There have definitely been higher sales, you know. And again, Fake Domino first appearance. Technically, it's the first appearance of Copycat, right? First appearance of Deadpool, and I think it's the first appearance of Gideon.
Yep.
You know, who unfortunately went on to terrorize the New Warriors more than he terrorized X-Force.
Yep.
That was great.
That's very true. But number 4 on cover price for this one. Now, here's one that it doesn't surprise me, and it's fun. It's funny because the book has come and gone pretty often within the the top 10s, the top 20s, or even the key collector trending 20, right? Now, New Teen Titans #1 saw a lot of sales, and it came in at number 11 on cover price simply because, well, we got some Teen Titan news that we spoke about last week, right? We have seen Teen Titans in live action before, but now with the James Gunn universe, the people are definitely excited, myself included. So, second team appearance of Teen Titans, CGC 98 sold for $290 US. That is quite an uptick considering that, like, literally not too long ago, you could have got it for way cheaper. So I'm curious to see how this holds up, but still a wonderful book, beautiful cover. I'm
George
going to be honest. Yeah, exactly. Perez is one of my all-time favorites, but it's a book I've seen for dirt cheap for the longest time.
Yes.
And I feel like every collector who's been in the game for quite some time probably has one within their
I should hope so. So this is what I have to say. If you're a collector, this is a great piece to have in your collection. I can see why you want it. And also, if you're a collector who's looking to unload now. This is your time. It is now. This is your time to sell, right? Yep. And for those of you who want one in your collection, wait, because I do not we need to see Superman before I start having faith in the Teen Titans, okay? Because DC, Warner Brothers, whoever is behind it, they have been pushing the Titans so freaking hard, making them the lead book, the lead super team book on the shelves for DC and all this stuff. And I don't know about you, but I can't remember giving a crap. I can't. Exactly. I can't. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody just wait. It'll be right back down to $40 raw or $30 raw in no time, and you can snatch it up. But if you own it, sell it now.
Yeah. Honestly, you sold that like a great infomercial. So good job, Cliff. I think you were spot on with everything you said. So New Teen Titans, number 11 cover price. So let's talk a cover price shaker. Nemesis, I don't know if you're still in the chat. I know you don't usually tune into the full episodes every week, but Digimon, Digital Monsters #1 foil cover, first US publication. Of course, CGC 98 sold for $325 US. I know that Nemesis has one, and he also sold recently a CGC 96 for quite cheap. He sold it for about $100 US, considering that this book doesn't have too many on the census. So shout out to Nemesis for owning one, but of course, Digimon Digital Monsters #1, dude. I think that hits us all in the nostalgia nuts, right? Because grew up with it, right?
Digimon, Pokemon, Digital Monsters.
There you go. That's exactly the theme song. But of course, like I said, we all grew up with Pokemon, Digimon. I'm gonna say Beyblade came, and then after that,
I feel like Beyblade came and went.
Yeah, very fast. I was at Toys R Us. They're still selling toys. I didn't know Beyblade was still a thing.
I mean, it's cheap enough to make, so I guess it hangs in there.
Yep. But what's your thoughts on the Digimon sale? Of course, this one being a foil. I think it's neat, man.
It's neat. Yeah, this is like, I kind of like this because I kind of like that people are like giving love to something, and it's not because, there's a new Digimon movie coming out and Timothy Chalamet is going to play the lead. Like, it's not that, right? Like, it's just Digimon love.
Yeah, of course, man. And everybody's in it for the nostalgia. I love the way you just did that. That was amazing. Yeah. But yes, totally just because it's an awesome book. Yeah, in your face, newbie. I was just waiting, Rocksteady, for somebody to do this. Because, yes, newbie had this in his face at Terrificon last year and passed on it for $1. So, yeah, exactly. But all right.
I'll see y'all at Terrificon.
Yep. See you. Well, in a few months.
We'll be on Jim Lee's line together.
Yeah, I'll be there in a few months too. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with everybody. But all right, let's move on from Digimon so that newbie doesn't cry. But Sonic the Hedgehog #40. Now, again, guys, I just want to put emphasis on this. This is the 1 in 10 ratio by Natalie Foudrain. What you're seeing is that a lot of people, especially when it comes to this Sonic run, man, those ratio incentives are very hard to come across,
Mhm.
especially in high grades. Now, a raw near mint sold for $255 US, cover price shaker. It's an impressive sale, but it's not it's not the first. There's many of those ratio incentives that have hit high numbers. This one being just another one on that train, man.
Yeah, and again, love to see it. You
Yeah.
know. Oh, thanks, Lutheros.
Yeah. I sold two Sonics this week for $330. That is
There you
nuts.
go, Rack City.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when literally all of these were dollar bin. All
Yeah.
of them.
The
You
ratio
know?
incentives.
No, even the ratios, they would like they just weren't moving, So like boop, you
Yeah.
know.
Nuts. But very impressive sale and understandably so. Now, and yeah, everyone's making bets that Michael Baker's got some spawn books. Hold on. There may or may not be because we're already getting towards Baker Shaker territory. But before we
Ah, the
do,
trial of Magneto.
there you go. Exactly. Uncanny X-Men issue 200. Classic cover. The suit
Absolutely.
alone is a dead giveaway as to why people flock to this because, well, we just got X-Men 97, which we will discuss very shortly within the hot topics. But raw near mint, $216. No, that is inaccurate. But number one on CBSI. I'll get you guys the actual number because I
Yeah,
have
raw
it.
near mint. That feels rough.
Yeah, no, that is totally wrong. So give me a second. But speaking of Uncanny X-Men 200, the trial of Magneto, this was an awesome story because obviously everything that happens, Professor X and so forth. You've read this, right?
Yeah, of course. This leads into him, and I love it because this is where we lead into him, taking over the for the students headmaster and like
Yeah,
training the new mutants.
yeah,
He got that human nurse on board,
yeah.
which is really messed up because if you're reading the Resurrection of Magneto and he's like in that chamber with all the guilt names, he's guilty of people dying, the nurse's name shoots across. And he's like, oh, one of my acolytes killed her because they thought that's what I wanted. And when you look back, that was his nurse when he was in charge of the school. Great.
It was a CGC 98 sold for $159 US.
Okay,
So
say graded.
216 Canadian dollars for a CGC 98, guys. Disregard
Okay,
this line.
good.
Right?
At least it's a 9.8. Now we're back on track.
Exactly. Makes a lot more sense, but we'll get into some of the X-Men talk in just a bit. But like I said, we're in Baker Shaker territory already, guys. Look at this. Marvel Premiere 28. Of course, Legion of Monsters being a favorite for some. Morbius, Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider, Man-Thing. CGC 98 sold for $3,027 US. Baker
You
Shaker.
know, you know what's impressive? I mean, this is great, but for those of you out there collecting, you may want to get what was the Marvel magazine size Marvel?
Sorry, what are you referring
Well,
to?
okay, I'm just saying the Legion of Monsters, their first appearance is is that Marvel magazine that I can't remember the name of. So
Yes,
like,
yes.
and that one is not really. If you look, that one's not on the radar at the moment. So that's a great grab for people right now. A great grab.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny you say that because a lot of people do tend to flock to this one. I don't know if it's simply because of the cover, but
I think it's the cover. I think it's I just think it's because it's the cover, and I think it's because like people know this as the one.
yeah,
But it's actually oh my god, why can't I remember the name of the freaking magazine? You know what I'm talking about.
yeah. I'm having a blank too, so don't you worry about it. Got
Great
this book in a
cover.
flame
Great.
sale. Wow, that is absolutely insane. They have mutants. Hell yeah. I saw this joke. That's actually a funny one, Rocksteady. But yeah, so again, like I said, that income tax money is clearly making its way to some
Yes.
pockets because $3,027 US. Look, to come across this in a CGC 98, I imagine is not.
9.8 exactly. It's a 9.8. Also, this is organic love. Again, it's not about there's a TV series, there's a movie.
Yep,
You know,
exactly.
look at that, Michael Baker. The yellow is sharp on the copy, right on.
Yep. But all right, let's continue to talk some Baker Shakers because we've got Avengers #1, man, in a
Ooh.
CGC 3.5 origin and first appearance of the Avengers. Now the CGC 3.5 sold for $2,499 US. Not too bad. Not too bad. That is a good
No, it's
pickup.
pretty good. It's great.
Yeah, that is a great pickup. Dude, you cannot go wrong with this absolute classic of a book. I think if there was a book that I'd be willing to drop money on, especially
This.
that kind of coin, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
This Uncanny X-Men #1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I would go crazy with Giant Size X-Men #1 too. Maybe.
I'm surprised you're not saying, Amazing Fantasy, sir. 15.
Well, Amazing Fantasy prices are all over the place.
They are.
They're not very like this at X-Men #1. They maintain a particular level of consistency, whereas Amazing Fantasy is usually wildly high because it's Spider-Man and so many people love Spider-Man. I get it. But yeah, if I can get a tax refund and Amazing Fantasy 15,
Yeah.
done.
You must
be. I really want Action 1.
Yeah, 100%. But yes, Hyper saying I have an Avengers 1 just from the year 2013. It's still better than me because the closest I'm getting to it is the year 2023. That's right, when we got the
facsimile.
Exactly.
AKA the reprint.
Yeah, it's dude. Like I said, it doesn't get more classic than this. You're talking Kirby, you're talking Stanley, you're talking all of the greatest of all time. So there you go. Speaking greatest, we've got Fertbird in the house, man. Ferdy doing his thing. I caught a bit of the show. And, of course, appreciate Ferdy swinging by. If you guys aren't subbed up to Fertbird, man, go sub up, show some love, because Ferdy's one of the nicest guys in the community and always speaking some facts over on his channel. So nothing but love. And speaking of one of the most awesome peoples within the community, Infamous Jeb, one of the most informative guys, the nicest guys in the world, and his energy, man, you've seen him on this show several times. Nothing but love for Infamous Jeb. Go follow him on Instagram because he posts a lot of good stuff. Who are we kidding? All these classics are baller books. Yes, absolute baller books, man. Cliff, are you bidding on the Kansas City Action #1? In case
y'all missed it, I don't care about the sports. I just sometimes care about the players.
Yeah. This guy. I love it. But all right. We're talking classics. Let's get to Ghost Rider #1, another Baker Shaker. The income tax money's flowing, baby, because CGC 9.2 sold for $1,300 US. First cameo of Damon Hellstorm, son of Satan. Now, dude,
this is very fair.
Yeah, it is.
For 9.0 and above, like, this is what I expect.
Yeah, man. And you're not wrong, because I've seen this book in front of me, man, for $1,000 Canadian. And it was a pretty high grade. I swear to God, if I had the coin, I would have jumped on it. If I'm not mistaken, I think Steph's Comics is actually the one who picked it up here locally. Correct me if I'm wrong, Steph. But yeah, gorgeous book. And dude, it's so impressive when you see it in front of you, man.
I can only imagine.
Yep. But again, baller books. Baker's bringing some baller books. And let's keep the train rolling when it gets to the baller Baker Shaker books. Because, of course, guys, what would a Baker Shaker be without a Spawn book? Issue 185. This is the headless variant, and it is a ratio incentive. And of course, Todd McFarlane. Raw near mint sold for $515 US. Guys, I'm not making a mistake here. No, it's not a typo on the slide. A raw near mint, $515. Before we talk the book, though, Cliff, Steph's Comics was the one who picked it up. It was a 9.6. Look at that.
Look at that. That's amazing.
Yep. But all right, man. Okay, back to the Spawn book. Now, there's multiple variants of this book, man, and the headless one being absolutely awesome. Now, raw near mint, $515. Pretty impressive.
It is. It is.
Yep.
I mean, I guess this is one of the harder to. Oh, and it's also retailer incentive.
Yep.
But there are some harder to find Spawns, and I'm assuming this is one among the lower print run.
Yes, it is, especially within this frame within the 180s and up. But
if Todd can pull it off and actually get the movie out, woo! Yeah. There's a lot of people gonna get really excited with their collection.
Yeah. Well, if he doesn't do it soon, I think Michael Baker might be a headless one as well. So he's gonna lose it.
But he'll have the love of his collection.
Yeah, of course. Now, you heard me talk the Ghost Rider 1. You heard me talk Gear Up, who was in the chat. Armin, who did the pressing and cleaning for Steph's Comics and brought it to a 9.6. So shout out to Armin again, man, because he works magic. I swear to God. But all right, moving on from Spawn, we've got Marvel Comics Presents 79. Yes, where we see Weapon X design. Everybody loves this cover, right? Especially with
Yep.
the iconic helmet that Wolverine's wearing within it.
Yep.
But
Some Barry Windsor Smith goodness.
yep, of course. And CGC 98 sold for $500 US. Baker Shaker now $500 US is pretty impressive considering. Now it is a CGC 98. Won't take that away. But dude, I've seen this book. This is through years of collecting, and so I'm not talking bad on anybody who's picking it up on a premium now. But a book I've seen so many times for dirt cheap, and now with all the news and all the MCU stuff, it picked up. It picked up a lot of traction.
And again, as I said before, it is a great time for you to sell if you have it and you don't really need to keep it or want it for any reason. And the rest of you who want it, just wait. Just wait.
Yeah.
Just hang in there.
Yeah. You think
let Deadpool 3 come and go.
You think this comes back down?
That it may come back down a little? Yeah, of course. Because don't they all take a dip once the movie has come and gone?
Yeah.
Right? So like if you need to have it, now is not the time. Just wait. But again, for longevity, great book. It was like the Weapon X saga is great. If you have them all in 9s and above, and you just want it for an investment, that's a great investment. You know, if you want it because you're a collector and they're great, it's wonderful. It's very impressive to see them up on somebody's wall when you walk in the door.
Of course. Yep. 100%. But Hyper, exactly, man. I agree with what you said. The sale is insane for a book you see very often. Look, I would say very few times I've come across copies, though, that could be 9/8 contenders. So,
yeah, I mean, how often do you see that cover look that sharp?
Yep, of course. But Chia Pet on the ball 1000% because the book is awesome. What a story this was. I think that the Weapon X stuff is probably some of my favorite Wolverine stories. So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. Savage Wolverine cover. Yeah, Chia saying he read it when it came out, and of course, Love for Comics saying I love the back cover art on Marvel Comic Presents. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of cool art on the back. In a slab, these books look incredible because when you see the back end of it, it's just awesome, man. It's just great covers, great books, great stories.
There's an 8.5 for $45 USD on eBay right now. Buy it now.
Yep.
Grab it. Like new condition.
Yep. Like new.
For an 8.5.
Yep. But all right, let's move on from Weapon X because we've got Transformers the movie, the greatest animated movie of all time. Okay, maybe not the greatest, but regardless.
Well, I mean, it's pretty great. It's pretty.
Yeah,
great.
It is. Issue number 1, first U.S. appearance of Galvatron. Now, CGC 98 sold for $189.85 US. Baker Shaker, I think that's actually a pretty decent sale.
I think it is, and it's quite fair, especially for a 9/8.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and a movie that traumatized a generation of children.
Yeah,
you know, it's amazing. I mean, dude. I mean, this movie is the reason that the G.I. Joe movie was direct to video and why Duke didn't die.
Yep. But dude, for the sake of, again, I don't want to say for the sake of just nostalgia, because the movie is incredible. I remember growing up watching this thing over and over. Like, it was just so awesome. I had the VHS. I don't know if I still do, probably at my parents' house or something, but it's just a classic. So
it is a classic. And for Transformers fans, like, of course.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say, man. Spoiler alert, they killed Optimus. Yeah. Best soundtrack ever. I could not agree more, man. It was so boss.
Amazing.
But one thing I want to point out. Yeah, one thing I want to point out aside from the comics, just 1 second, is I see Ferdy and Rocksteady and a few people going back and forth about Terrificon. You gotta come, Ferdy, dude. Everybody's hitting up Terrificon, and I think it's gonna be a yearly tradition. So, Cliff, you're going, right? You said you're going.
I am doing everything in my power.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying, dude. April 6th is around the corner, and that's just King Kong. And your boys, Pressable Defects, are going to be there. Very Gary's going to be there.
Yes,
DJ Lynx is going to be there. The Comics Curing Cancer thing is going to be on sale there. I'm killing myself just for that, and that's an hour away. Yep. Much less the Connecticut thing. I have a friend who's willing to split a room with me on the outskirts of the casino. So like, great. So I'm really trying to make it happen. And of course, the one I'm really trying to make it happen, and I'm praying to God and a legion of angels to bless me. I'm trying to make HeroesCon happen.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. We hope to see you there, man. But
I gave all of you the speech. But yes, come to Terrificon. It literally is terrific.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. You're on fire, man. Infomercials all night, bro. I feel it. The one-liners. But all right. Detective Comics, issue 475. Paperweight, if you're watching. I know you ain't going to comment, but regardless, look at that. DC book. The Laughing Fish Story, CGC 98 sold for $1,281 US. Another Baker Shaker and another reason, as you can see, that people have gotten their income tax money. Because, yes, that is good coin, but for a very cool book.
Truly. Truly. Yep. And again, it's a classic Joker story, right? So, like, if you can grab a copy and you're that Batman fan, absolutely try and grab yourself a copy.
Yep. 100%, man. Shout out to TK who's in the house, man. Yes, soundtrack for Transformers was amazing, but TK is amazing. I actually went for drinks with him last night, man. Had a great time. I owe you, bro. I'm picking up lunch for you this week. I'm telling you now because he picked up the tab. What a gentleman. But yeah, good times, man. All right, let's move on from Detective Comics because we've got Crossfire issue 12.
Crossfire!
Yeah, cover featuring Marilyn Monroe, 24th anniversary, obviously, from her passing. CGC 98 sold for $550 US. Baker Shaker, but I want to give a shout out to Hyper Combo Comics because he's recently back doing his thing, posting on Instagram, posting, you know, he's going to be doing some more YouTube stuff. He actually picked this up for dirt cheap, man. Hyper, let us know within the comments.
As you should, because like really, who heard of this and who's thinking about it?
Right. Michael Baker is.
No, I mean, that's great. And I'm not, and look, it is a little bit of a historical piece, right? With the Marilyn Monroe cover and all that, and appreciate it. And definitely if you're some kind of Marilyn Monroe collector, huge. But like, Dan Stevens is the artist. Like, do I know him? I'm not, like, the name sounds kind of familiar, but I'm not 100% sure. It is a very good looking cover.
Yeah. Now, Derek brings up a good point because I have been seeing a lot of Stevens covers as of late, making some insane numbers. But yeah, look, Hyper saying he picked it up for 20 bucks Canadian, not a 9/8, but a solid copy. Hey, dude, doesn't need to be a 9/8. I mean, obviously you hope for it, but for 20 bucks, who's complaining? So shout out to Hyper. Crossfire number 12. CGC 98, $550 US. Creator of Rocketeer. There you go. But all right.
That's why. Okay.
We're going to end it off with Key Collectors Trending 20 because we've got DC Comics Presents issue 26. Now, we spoke the Teen Titans stuff. First appearance of new Teen Titans, Raven, Cyborg, and Starfire. CGC 98, $1,359 US. Dude, technically it's a preview though, right? Are we gonna have this discussion?
I mean, no, it's a full 16-page mini.
Right? Okay, so people tend to say that this is a preview. You say 16-page. I think it's a very fair thing to say that it's the first appearance. Now, some places, obviously, or some people refuse to acknowledge that, but I think this book, dude, the cover alone. Let's start with the cover. Is just it's awesome, man. I absolutely love this cover. I think it's a classic. It's got to be a classic.
It is a classic, and for years, this has been praised. Decades, this has been praised as the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. You know.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm all for it. I'm gonna send mine to get graded because woo,
you're on fire. You're on fire. You spoke New Mutants 98 being raw, and you're going to send it into CGC for grading. Now this one.
Yep.
Dude, I imagine this collection that you've got not too far from you must be impressive. So I hope.
I mean, it's a little impressive. I mean, my Wolverine, my not Wolverine, my X-Men #4 first appearance of Weapon Omega.
Yeah.
Omega Red. What is wrong?
Weapon
Omega Red. It came back with pressing and cleaning. It came back a 9.4.
Not bad. Not
But
bad.
it's CGC graded, Scott Williams and Jim Lee, so
Yeah.
I don't feel too bad for myself.
Yep. But back to DC Comics Presents very quickly is, simply because a lot of the new Teen Titans news that we've been getting, lots of love is being shown towards anything Teen Titans. So I think this is a pretty good sale, man, for the book, especially in a CGC 9/8. I don't see too many 9/8s out in the wild.
Agreed.
Yep. JF saying,
mine, the one I have is probably an 8.
well, who cares, man? Send it in. It's a beautiful book to them.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's my baby.
Yeah. But all right, guys, that was the market report. Already done. You saw lots of Baker shakers. Baker put in the work, so shout out to Michael Baker. I felt the need to go through a lot of the books he picked because, dude, like I said, the income tax money was moving. It was moving. Yes, underrated DC key. I'm still going to say that the Nightwing, first appearance of Nightwing, is an absolute underrated key, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
but
it's a great key. By the way, one more thing about that DC Comics Presents. The story in there, that 16-pager, is called Where the Nightmares Begin. All right? It's an original story. It is not. It's like Robin gets a vision of the future from Raven, and then we get New Teen Titans #1. So do not think that it's just 16 pages of New Teen Titans #1.
Yeah.
Therefore, first appearance.
100%. Love for Comics saying, thank you, Mr. Baker. Too bad my Marvel Comics Present 79 is direct. Ben saying, and I bought the Nightwing because of you. Yeah, thank you. But again, Ben, you shared that photo with me. The copy looks great. And you picked it up for dirt cheap. So congrats to you. It is a beautiful book to own. Now I also want one. So, but all right.
And you should get it now.
Yes, 100%. But Cliff, we're flying through this episode because we are already towards the hot topics of the show. So for the last time tonight, sir, I want to hear it. Are you ready?
I am ready.
There you go. So guys, there was a lot of hot topics to go through. Some interesting things happened within the week. I feel like we got spoiled, man, especially with the release of X-Men 97. I want to say it's a unanimous feeling across the globe when it comes to X-Men 97, but we'll get into some of that stuff. But to kick it off, first things first was, what a week for trailers, man. Guys, woo! Beetlejuice, right? We got the Penguin, which looked insane. The Acolyte. And Marvel released in 1943, Rise of Hydra, the video game. Now, I know it's not really a movie trailer, but regardless, that game looked insane. So let's get through it very quickly. Like I said, we got spoiled. Beetlejuice, I'm pumped. I'm a bit scared, I'm not going to lie, because it is a classic in my books. So I hope they do it justice, because it's I don't want to say it's on the same scale as Scarface coming out with Scarface 2, because I feel like Scarface should never get a sequel. But Beetlejuice, this far out, I hope we get a solid movie.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I love Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
And I love the cast. And I want it to be great. But I have no clue I have no clue what kind of movie this is going to be for us. And that teaser trailer didn't give me a clue either.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was just like, all right. I'm like, it's Beetlejuice. I'm like, all the players are here.
That's right, man. Infamous Jeb, 100%, bro. We eating good, man. We've been spoiled so far as nerds, but not so much when it comes to the Acolyte. Now, I don't know if you saw. I thought
it was a dope trailer.
It was. I thought it was decent, but a lot of hate online for this. It was the most disliked trailer for Star Wars.
Yeah, like why? I do not understand.
Look, I think it was a fair teaser. Yeah, exactly. Chia Pet saying, it was a perfect teaser.
Exactly.
I'm still behind on certain things when it comes to Star Wars, and I know, Cliff, you're gonna kill me right now. I still haven't finished Mandalorian. I haven't. Yeah, here we go.
Look, I give up on people. You know, like y'all want to catch up, catch up. You don't want to catch up, you're missing out. I'm like, I'm having a good old time, and
I'm
it's
trying.
good.
I'm trying. I'm getting there. But yeah, exactly. The director is hated, so that is another thing that plays into it. But overall, I didn't. I just took it in as, oh, okay, this looks like an awesome upcoming project for Star Wars. I didn't think anything other than that. Chia saying it was the most viewed trailer in Star Wars. That's interesting. All I didn't.
Hate watching. People are hate watching.
Yeah, exactly. Hate watching.
All right, so it's Hanelle Culpepper that people don't like.
I guess so. I guess so.
Let's go. I'm gonna go dig for her controversies while we continue.
There you go. And while you're doing such, I just want to shed some light on 1943 Rise of Hydra, because the video game looked absolutely incredible. Now, all we got was a lot of cutscenes. We didn't get anything related to gameplay, so I look forward to seeing some of the gameplay stuff. But looking at 1943, we have Black Panther, who is clearly somebody else. And of course, you have Captain America at this point in time. Really looks cool. I'm a gamer, so I'm pumped for this one. And the Penguin. One thing I want to say about the Penguin. Actually, wait. We got to say hello to the Paisan. Of course, Kamikaze is in the house. Nothing but love. Guys, keep an eye out for a sale that's taking place this Tuesday. I swear to God, he posts on Instagram every week what he's going to be selling. And it's some of the sickest books that you can ever come across. So definitely go check him out over on Whatnot. But the Penguin. Guys, I was talking with Paperweight about this on Instagram, and I even said, like, dude, take DC out of this, right, Cliff? You take DC out of it and just absorb it as a series, right? So just a totally on its own thing. Like, dude, I feel like even my dad would like to watch this. You know what I mean? Like, this is totally up his alley. And Dad, if you're watching, shout out to you.
Listen, the man could not get an Oscar for the performance of the Penguin, but so he's gonna go for the Emmy. That's all I can say.
Yes, 100%. Like, dude, the trailer looked great, like absolutely incredible. I look forward to this, man.
I mean, I'm look, I'm not even like crazy about Batman stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, I mean, but again, I also think he's great, and I think this is his time to shine, and I want to see it. So, you know, let's go. Let's do
this. Exactly. Let's go, man. But
it looks like a good crime drama.
That's what I'm getting at. Is like when I say I feel like my dad would like this, is because my dad loves crime dramas.
Let's be honest, it's the Batman version of The Sopranos, and everyone's gonna eat it up.
Exactly, and then that's the exact vibe I got. Right, you felt that. So I was excited, man. It looks great. I think we got spoiled just with trailers this week, but of course, much more cool things to discuss.
The 1943 Rise of Hydra trailer, I thought it was a movie.
Yeah, dude, that's how good it looks.
Yeah, it looks so good because the unmasked classic Black Panther like had me fooled. It was crazy.
Yep, 100%. Now, it's funny you say that, because one of the things that people were saying online, dude, if you see the stills, like the photos of the game, and I encourage everybody to go check it out on Google. It looks beautiful. The game looks incredible. So I can't wait to play it. But all this to say, guys, we got pretty spoiled now. A lot of hate towards Acolyte. We'll see.
You know, usually when people hate stuff, one Google search, I'll have the answer. This is like not coming up right away.
Yeah, but it was just the most disliked. Chia Pet, you must know what I'm that feels like with YouTube videos being so disliked. Like when The Rock came back, right, and did his stuff.
And you know what's so funny? half my wrestling friends were like, "This is so amazing, Cliff, watch this," you know, and like the other half were like, "I hate it. I hate everything. I hate everything that's happening."
Yep, yeah, wrestling, baby, I love it. But anyways, let's move on from the trailers from the week. We're gonna start talking some other cool stuff. Now, we had the Penguin talk, but Jake Gyllenhaal talks about interest in playing Batman. Now, I know some people were talking about this online. He says it would be an honor, always those types of things, and those roles are classics. Of course, Batman being one of the most classic, right, of all time.
And I mean, you know, I don't care. I think Jake Gyllenhaal can deliver, so I'm ready.
Yeah, 100%, man. I would take Jake Gyllenhaal over Ben Affleck any day.
Okay, let's not get crazy.
No.
I cannot have Ben Affleck, who I was actually enjoying his performance, even though I wasn't enjoying the writing.
Yeah.
I can't have Ben Affleck, but I would take this, especially if we're doing Batman and Son. Like this, he's like the right shape, the right age, you know.
Exactly.
And right, Roadhouse was solid. My biggest complaint about Roadhouse is that it's called Roadhouse.
Yeah.
You know, like because
you
know, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth because you're like, oh, Patrick Swayze, that's like his movie, you know. But like otherwise, it's a perfectly fun movie.
Yeah. Now, Chia saying, love Jake, not sure he's perfect choice for a DC comic book universe Batman. Fair.
I think he can do it. He's 43. It's the right age. He's in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
You know, how tall is this bastard? Where is his height?
we're checking up the heights, man. Well, listen, I mean, they got Hugh Jackman, who's not the smallest guy when it comes to playing Wolverine, right?
All right, he's 6 foot. Batman's supposed to. They can put lifts. He'll be all right.
There you go. Love for Comics saying he's awesome, but I can't see it. He's good for facial expressions. Won't work behind the mask.
This part will be so good. You
there
know,
you
not to mention if it's Batman and Son, his mask is gonna come off left and right because not Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul will be knocking it off every 5 seconds. Being like, why are you wearing a mask? We all know you're Bruce. Slap.
Yeah. Ben Affleck's bat nips have nothing on Val Kilmer's, and I couldn't agree more, man. The best Batman nipples ever. But
listen, Ben Affleck was in fabulous shape. Fabulous shape for Batman.
He was. Now, one thing I want to ask before we move on from talking about Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman, I think, again, like I said, I think he would do a great job. I would actually prefer to see him over Ben Affleck. I was never too fond of Ben Affleck. I still don't, to this day, buy into Ben Affleck as Batman. I go back to watch it.
Dude, but that scene where he goes to rescue Martha Kent, dude, that's such classic Batman. When the criminals are scared and he's like up in the corner on the ceiling, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I still,
you know,
I still prefer Christian Bale over Ben Affleck, just to give you an idea. So,
I mean, it's a different beast. For me, it's apples and oranges. They're both fruits.
Yes. But one thing I wanted to ask, like I said before moving on, is he could play a good Batman. Do you think he would play a good Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
You know, and also importantly, I need to keep emphasizing because people think I'm crazy, specifically Bruce Wayne as a father, right? We're talking about a DC universe where Damian very much exists, right? Yes. I think he's the right age. I think he's the right shape. I think he has the right delivery to make all that happen. Yeah. If we were going to do young single Batman, like what's his name there, you know, I would probably go somewhere else. And also, Twilight Boy did great.
Yes, he did. He did.
So, like, you know, like we don't really know. Everyone's like, oh, I can't see it. I can't see it. Let's get a demo reel, people. Let's figure it out.
And don't forget, that is still going to take place, right? There's going to be a Batman 2 of that. Now,
yeah,
I agree because that Batman for me felt the most Detective Comics type of Batman ever, right? Like that was the closest I think we've come to it. So I loved it. But who knows, man? I know Jake Gyllenhaal has been seen in comic roles before, so we never know.
Well, Mysterio and what else?
Yeah. Well, there was Mysterio. I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and I thought he did a fine job.
Yeah. But all right, let's move on from Jake Gyllenhaal because we're gonna talk more DC with Joker Folie à Deux to be a jukebox musical featuring 15 well-known songs. Oh boy. Now, of course, original songs could reportedly be added. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this at all.
Well, I have no clue, right? Like every time they make an announcement about this, I'm really like, what are we doing and where are we going?
Yes.
That said, we are talking about two criminally insane people. So if we're viewing this movie through the psychological lens of Harley Quinn, this might work great, right? Because like the first movie, we're watching the movie through him. So we're watching the second one through her. This might make perfect sense.
Now, that's the only thing that I could see being fitting, and it's something we've said before. Is I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, and it's ironic because being an ex-musician, I absolutely love music, but I cannot sit through a musical for some reason. Now, if we were to see it within that perspective, where, like you said, mentally unstable, right? You're dealing with two of the biggest all-time deranged criminals within comics. I think it does give a cool perspective, right? That they're living in this fairy world, right? This fairy land where what they're doing to them is perfectly normal,
Right.
and
It's music and beautiful.
it's the most beautiful thing. So I think on that perspective, it's going to be awesome. Now, one thing I want to agree with here with the Jeb saying Lady Gaga is so talented, so I'm down 100%, dude. By far, dude, her voice, like anything she touches music wise, I think what she has done to date, let's say with her Lady Gaga albums, I've seen some stuff that she's done outside of that, and I think that she could be even more than what she is right now. I've seen Lady Gaga play with Metallica, which was
Dude,
absolutely,
the thing is, she actually studied music and she knows how to play nearly every instrument.
yeah,
You know?
she's one of the most musically gifted out there.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not like she's someone who is passionate about music and it came into her. It's someone who was passionate about music who spent most of her life studying music.
yeah, of
You know,
course, man.
so and listen, I mean, I think she's great. I think where she deserves to be where she is right now culturally, because I think there's a lot of work, and I think a lot of people don't know about it. All her duet albums with Tony Bennett,
Yeah,
great.
dude, fucking,
Like
she's
so we're
solid.
gonna get if that's what the caliber of the soundtrack is gonna be like for this movie, I think we're in for a treat.
Yeah,
But again, through the psychological lens, otherwise it doesn't work. But I'll tell you why I think I'm right. Because look at how many things happened in the first movie that were in his head, like him thinking he had a relationship with the neighbor.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But since we were talking music, there's somebody here who has nothing but great taste in music. One of the pressable defects. The Butcher's in the house, man. Butcher, bro. Jay, appreciate you coming to swing by and check out the show. I hope to get together with you sometime soon, but I know that if I don't get to hang with you on stream, I'm hanging with you at Terrificon, guys. We spoke Terrificon already earlier in the show. Cliff, you're going to King Kong, where
I'm
obviously
going to King Kong. I'm going to see Jay. I'm going to see Matt. I'm going to see Gary. I already know Gary, of course, so it'll be a lot of fun.
There you go. So when you see Butcher, just give him a little jab from BC. Let him know. We show him some love from BC because one of the most awesome guys within the community. So appreciate you, Jay, man. Nothing but love, bro. But all right, let's move on from Joker stuff because apparently this stuff's going around where Kang is reportedly still going to be playing the villain in Avengers 5 and will appear in the Secret Wars, but alongside another major villain. Now, of course, here we see Doom within the photo. Now, on again, off again, we're hearing some of this stuff, but a reputable source because Daniel RPK tends to be on the ball when it comes to this stuff. So I thought it was interesting to see this. We've had this debate a few times on the show. Cliff, I'm curious to hear what you think when it comes to the whole Kang stuff that's going on. And of course, now maybe sharing that villainous role for the big main event come Secret Wars.
And listen, I think the best thing they could do is recast Kang, right?
Yeah.
Because they already made that investment. So if that's what they're doing, great. I have my fantasy version of what I want Avengers 5 to be, right? Yeah. Particularly when it was Kang Dynasty, I thought it would have been a fun place to introduce the Fantastic Four. Even I don't know, maybe that's too crazy and too ambitious, but I would have loved select teams banding together for different reasons to battle Kang throughout time, right? Only to lose, and we end up with Secret Wars, and they're on Battle World for the next movie.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that would be amazing.
100%,
you know? And we could get Dr. Doom and the Fantastic Four if they really are lost in time, right? They could be, when we meet them, they are freed from time, and then their movie is how they got lost in time.
Yeah. Well, right? I imagine that's what's probably going to be taking place because, of course, the movie's set within.
I hope so, but they're not always as smart as me.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, man, Fantastic Four is going to be taking place within the 60s. So I imagine, a lot of what you just said does make a lot of sense. Hopefully that is the route we're going to see the MCU move forward. But it looks like Kang won't be the only big bad come Secret Wars. So we'll see. Keep an eye out for this. Like I said, on again, off again. Recasting is a must. Jay agrees with you at 100%. It's gotta take place, man.
And my dream is that Secret Wars gives us the new Black Panther, which would be T'Challa's son.
Yeah, that would be dope. Shout out to Dan De La Torre, who's in the house. Dan, nothing but love. Crushed it with spine ticks last night. Caught the replay this morning, so appreciate you coming and swinging by. But let's move on from the Kang talk, because we are about to start talking X-Men 97, and we know that Mr. Sinister is going to be making his way. But the forthcoming X-Men reboot will reportedly have Mr. Sinister as the main villain. Now that's pretty interesting. Kind of makes sense as to why we keep seeing his first appearance on again and off again on the top 10 lists.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, we know he's coming within X-Men 97.
He's a great villain.
Yeah, but within the reboot of the X-Men moving forward, I think Mr. Sinister is a heavy favorite, man. We've gotten Apocalypse in the past, which, whatever, I don't even want to talk about that one, but you know how I feel. I think you could imagine. But Mr. Sinister, I think, would be an awesome villain also in live action, not just X-Men cartoons, X-Men 97. What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's great. I mean, he's the dude that, like, he ran Scott Summers' foster home, right? And nobody knew that he was secretly Mr. Sinister all the time. Mr. Sinister, baby. Yeah, he's the one who created Madeline Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's full of trouble. So, he's great.
Yep. And we are going to be getting that story playing out within the cartoon, right? Which we'll talk about very shortly. But yes, Mr. Sinister in the live action, I think that would be cool, man. Now, of course, guys, these are all rumors, people talking about this online and stuff like that. But he is a heavy favorite villain when it comes to the X-Men. So I think the fact that it's taking place already now within the X-Men 97 series, it might hurt it. You know what I mean? If we do see it in live action, that's just my take. Is I feel like people are going to see a story they might not want to see, but there's a lot more story when it comes to Mr. Sinister, right? It's not just the Madeline Pryor stuff. There's a lot more.
By the way, he could just work behind the scenes for the first movie. Like, if they really wanted to milk it, I mean, we could get 2-3 movies out of this.
Yeah. Yo, Guy, you're spot on, man. It does look like Zabinajad. But yeah, so we'll see. Again, rumors going around about this, so let's keep an eye out. But we spoke a little bit about the X-Men 97 just now, and they have arrived, man. We got 2 banger episodes. In my opinion, I thought that was awesome stuff.
Absolutely.
It was great. Now, we got 2 episodes, like I said. First and foremost, let's kick it off with the intro. They stuck to that intro. They kept it as it was. How we left off.
It's got a remix. It's a little remixed.
Yeah, slight.
It's hot, that remix.
Yeah, it is. But man, the gang's back together. X-Men 97 to me, my X-Men. That's how we kicked it off. It was great, dude. 2 solid episodes. The gang looked amazing. Especially, that scene where we saw within the trailer where Gambit, Wolverine do that team-up move. Yep. I was like expecting to not see that in the first episode, but yeah, we did. We got to see that. It was so badass.
The first episode went hard.
Yeah.
Gambit Wolverine combo. My favorite moment. Storm, give them the weather report.
Oh, dude,
that was amazing. And she's like way off in the distance. So like, oh,
yeah,
loved it.
Yep. Now, episode 2 was a genuine shocker, yes, but we know we're getting towards the life-death story that's going to be taking place. So, of course, keep an eye out. We'll see if those books even move on the secondary market, or maybe they've already started. I haven't taken a look, but yeah, man. And Michael Baker making a solid point, saying that finally, they made Cyclops not look like a douche. I thought he looked badass as hell, man. Now taking the lead.
By X-Men 92, Cyclops was a bad bitch. Remember when they're fighting Sinister? You will not. I'm sorry, you still talking? Through the wall, and then him and Morph. Oh damn! Blew him to smithereens, and then Jean's like, He's like, no, master, I'll put you together. Gene's like, we're having none of that today. Telekinetic, and shot his pieces into space. Gene's like, it'll be a long time before we see him again. It was excellent. And Cyclops was great.
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
You know, we just did, but this level of animation, we went from Cyclops was great to Cyclops is amazing.
Yeah, pretty much, man. He was badass, and I agree with Jeb saying Executioner was awesome. Again, we brought up Executioner last week on the show. The first appearance on the annual. So
Morph being a cameo machine. Oh,
yes, 100%. Yep. Derek asking thoughts on the showrunner getting fired or
listen. Disney came out and said we parted ways, and that's it, right? He relaunched his Instagram with absolutely nothing relating to any of his X-Men work.
Yeah.
Or actually any work around that. We don't know what happened. Whatever happened, if Disney is saying we parted ways, we didn't fire him, that's like their official word, which is the statement I read, right?
Yeah.
Then it's fine. I feel bad. I really like him, and I know people who liked it. And one of the staff writers from the series thanked him on his Instagram for what a great series this one and for his leadership. So whatever beef may have occurred there, obviously not everyone felt the same way about it.
Yeah.
And he already wrote out 2 seasons, so we're going to see his effects. So it's going to be, it is what it is. Maybe after this wonderful reception, if the whole first season turns out to be a massive reception, they may be like, Bo, let's make amends.
Yes. And hopefully that does take place, because so far, off to a solid start. X-Men 97, dude, I swear to God, I felt like a kid again. The second the theme song hit, I enjoyed every second of both episodes. So looking forward to the rest. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you were going to keep going. I thought you were going to keep going. There it is. Yeah. Sam, I feel like it's slightly biased. I know you're nothing but you got nothing but love for X-Men, but I do agree, man. It was absolutely a solid start. Comic Vet's in the house, man. Comic Vet, thank you for coming to hang out with myself and Cliff, because
your fellow Canadian.
We've got a few more hot topics to discuss, with the hottest being this one here, guys.
Yo, am I a bad person that I'm like excited?
No, at all. We're gonna dive into this discussion in detail, my friend, because CGC acquires JSA. Now, what is James Spence authentication? Well, they will take your graded books and make sure it is, certified, authenticated, that it is, in fact, a signature on your book. And they are one of the leading companies when it comes to this. So CGC,
they're the leading company. They're the leading company.
Exactly.
Now, and CGC is the leading company on comic book grading. And I'm just saying, why wouldn't they want this to happen?
Yeah. Now, let's get into this, because a few topics came out right away. One being, again, there's still some people that feel like this is still, part of the smoke and mirrors, but it's not really. This is a big acquisition. But the smoke and mirrors as opposed to everything else that happened. Sure. I just think that this has nothing to do with that. So I just want to clear that up. Now, one thing I do want to say is that there are people who feel like this is the end days now for CBCS.
Oh, hell yeah, because that was the only thing CBCS had. That was the thing that they had.
Yeah.
And now that's it.
And
let me tell you, every time CGC had a political crisis, CBCS should have stepped up to the plate hard each and every time, and they didn't.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. Now, there's a few things we'll get into, because yes, I see some of the comments here, and Love for Comics bringing up a good one. Orange label joke, but imagine
I would love an orange label or a red gold shared label. I'm all about it.
Yeah,
a little ombre label. I would enjoy that.
But I did see talks of the orange label for those that have been authenticated. Now, I think it would not really do well, to be honest. I don't want to see an orange label. What do I want to see? Keep the yellow label. And right now,
oh my God, some of your colleagues and compatriots would not agree with you.
So let me just say what I want to say about this. I don't think a new label color is necessary. What I think could be done is keep it yellow, Now the yellow labels that we currently have, right? You can just have it say witnessed signature and then
Authenticated signature.
authenticated signature. Just
You
simple
know
as
what? I mean, I'm a little bit that one. I would like a little label, like a little authenticated label, you
yeah,
know? But like
yeah,
still keep it yellow so it'll be pretty and match my others, but like just a little label, just like a little gold, like a little silvery holographic JSA. There you go. I see. I solved it. I solved it right here. A little holographic JSA right on the yellow label. We're good to go.
exactly. You
There we
add
go.
that.
I fixed it for you, CGC. You're welcome. That idea is free. I will never seek money from you. Take my idea, run with it.
But it is as simple as that, right? You know, you have the CGC label over, you know, like that little this thing right here. You see that hollow
Yes.
sticker? You got that CGC thing right there.
I love that the one you grabbed is Disney.
Yeah, and shout out because this is actually a slab I won on the Comic Kingpins channel from Michael Baker. So shout out to the boys at Comic Kingpins and of course to Michael Baker. I have this here because my kids were fighting for it, but yeah, I think
apparently I'm rooting for supervillains according to the chat. This is fascinating.
But it is exactly that. I think what they can do is just add the whole witness to signature, or like you said, just add the actual label of JSA, right? Where it's CGC, but in the background, kind of like just lingering there with the JSA, you can tell that this was an authenticated signature. So that is one possible thing. Now, other things to discuss with this. First off, let's finish talking about the CBCS stuff. Do you think, like you said, this might be the end days for CBCS, but I do think CBCS does have good things going for them as well. I like their casings. The grading is more or less the exact same as CGC, maybe a little harsher, some believe. I'm not saying I do, but does CBCS endure this now, or do you think they're gonna come with their own left hook now? They got to do something.
What left hook are they going to come with?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing.
Where are they going to come in swinging from? This was the final frontier.
Yeah. Agreed. Yo, Cali Comics is in the house, man. Shout out to Cali Comics. Nothing but love, bro. Appreciate you coming to hang out tonight. But yeah, sounds like a smooth drink. But yeah, man. So this is big news because I've gotten plenty of books that I've always contemplated, sending into CBCS to get, the verified signature and so forth. But now with JSA, like you said, the biggest company when it comes to authentication and so forth. This is a huge pairing. Now, one thing that Dan Delatorre says that is spot on as well is this is no longer CGC, but Blackstone, one of the largest hedge fund companies in the world. This is Blackstone's attempt to further corner the market. This is bad people, very bad. That's another.
Well, they have a majority stake in CGC, which is really unfortunate. By the way, I just want to remind everybody, this is why I hate public corporations. All right. If you ever make it big, keep your shit private as long as possible until they show up with a gun and say, here, take the $40 million, right? Yeah. I mean, just hold out.
Yep. But it
is.
Oh
my God, Lefteros, don't please. You know what? I should make a video directly addressing CBCS and be like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. Why haven't you stepped up to the plate? I was like, you gave us a new label. That was your big announcement at New York Comic Con. Yeah. Oh, you know where else they're failing? Signing events. CGC has signing events galore. Where are your signing events, CBCS? You got like one, and it's like, okay, go hard, fight for your stake.
Yeah. And Derek, this is only adding further emphasis on what Cliff was saying. Is you would think that after two major scandals that CGC would try to batten down the hatches. Instead, they do this. This opens them up to huge risk and fraud.
Derek, let me tell you, if they're complete idiots and they fire everyone from JSA, then they'll be asking for that. I don't think that they're complete idiots, even though there are plenty of idiots out there in the world. I'm looking at you, Disney. But if they keep everyone from if they keep the JSA team sharp and in place, I think it's fine. And let me remind everyone, everyone makes mistakes. super corporation or not, right? It's gonna happen. And they have insurance for a reason. All these people that recently got scammed, their insurance is helping these people out. Yes, it's taking their sweet time. Yes, I know these people are complaining. Yes, I know they got to keep it together, blah, blah, blah. Fine, right? But they're taking care of business and their insurance is there in place for it. They're a big enough company to handle it. They're paying for good insurance.
Yeah.
And so, like, again, but I mean, I don't disagree because no company is perfect. And I mean, I called, what did I call them? Oh, I called them out when dude was like, and now we're going to do a 9.9, screening. And I'm like, but like, why weren't we already pre-screened? Like, why, like, how come I wasn't just getting my 9.9 if I deserved a 9.9? Why are you coming with this news like this late in the game? Yeah. You know, I was like, I know you're trying to honey dick us, but this is terrible, terrible. Yep. A honey pot for you, but still, you get what I mean.
Yep. Now, Leftero was saying, I don't know why anyone would not want CGC to offer additional services. At the end of the day, if you don't want to use the service, don't. And now it's well said because there's many other services CGC does offer outside of just, you know, comics and or magazine grading. There's cards too, right? Let's talk cards for a second. Yep. You know, they offer the service. Are they, you know, the leading company when it comes?
No, they're not the leading in cards.
Exactly.
You know? Now, but I'm sure they're coming for them. I'm sure they're coming for them.
I think they'll have a very hard time with, you know, PSA and so forth. But that is a big mountain to climb. But regardless, now with the authentication and all of that stuff, verifying signatures, Derek, you're not entirely wrong, right? This could happen, but this is something that could have been happening for the longest time as well, right? Now with CGC, CBCS has been offering this for quite some time, right? So maybe those do exist out there in the world, but I think the JSA collaboration is actually a good thing for CGC. I think this, you know, many points you guys brought up here about cornering the market and so forth. Spot on stuff, but Love for Comics asking, what would you be willing to pay for this option? I saw the $10 to $20 mark. I think $20 is it does hurt, but don't be surprised if that's where we're going to be headed, right? So we shall see. But big news this week related to CGC. I think, you know, for quite some time we've had some negative news with CGC as of late, but this is a nice change of pace. I think this is cool, opening up the options when it comes to graded comics. But guys, that was the show. That was the hot topics.
Oh, I still have one more thing to say about AutoPen.
Bring it. Talk about it.
All right. So AutoPen does not actually write; it prints the autograph, and therefore would not cause any damage or abrasion to the paper itself. So that is one way they have to look it up.
Yeah. There you go. So Cliff answering that right away. But Cliff, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. It was nothing but good times as always, sir. And the good times will keep rolling because this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be on your channel, man. Game show night. That's right. Plug the show.
Cliff's Crisis Quest Trivia. I haven't done one in a while, so this will be a special evening. You know, I got 4 wonderful guests, including our buddy here. It's going to be great. You know, DJ Lynx will be there. John's Council Kids, Tony. It's going to be a wonderful time. So tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cliff on Comics and the Council of Comics, streaming in both places. So come on and have fun. Post in the comments. See what happens.
There you go. So guys, nothing but love for Cliff. You go check out the description portion of this video and you can see the link to his YouTube channel. So show some love. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get the man to 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, come hang out this Thursday and watch me lose on this game show because there's no way in hell I'm going to win against such awesome people within this community. So Cliff,
you don't know what I'm going to come up with, you know?
I've seen your shows. I've seen your shows. I've seen your questions. They fucking, they stump me as a viewer. Imagine as somebody on the show. So, yeah, there you go.
I'll try to make some easier 100 pointers, you know, to go ahead.
There you go. Yeah, BC has no chance. That's right, guys. Come watch me lose. Come roast me. Have fun, but come hang out with myself and Cliff this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, keep an eye out for myself this week with the new Comic Book Day video. And I will be back, of course, next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time with another guest doing all the fun stuff like we did tonight. So, guys, Cliff, thank you. Anything you want to say before we head on out?
No, I had a great time. Thank you, everybody. Hey, if you want to go and like and subscribe over my channel, please feel welcome to do so.
Yeah.
And I'll see some of you at King Kong. So yeah.
There you go, man. King Con and of course Terrific Con. Keep an eye out for
Terrific Con. And maybe
out.
Heroes Con. I'm working my ass off.
There you go. He's hustling, making sure he's making the coin to pay for those rooms because they ain't cheap, man. They ain't cheap. But guys, thank you. Have yourselves a great week. We got a new episode of X-Men 97 dropping this week. So for sure, we will be talking about this again next Sunday. Until then, guys, adios. See you next week.